Hey, everybody, it's John here with the Basement Tapes 338. 79 Tops Football. Boy, we got right into it, didn't we? 79 Tops Football is an interesting little situation. It says here I have them all. Well, I know I have them all. I just haven't. Apparently, there's one that I forgot to check off on my list. But 79 has a few little quirks to it. Football, of course, we're still chugging along where we don't have logos painted on the helmets and stuff like that. But an interesting set to kind of cap off the 70s here, and we'll get into it a little here. Again, have 529 of these, but there's also a cream back version, which I'm sure it was just a manufacturing anomaly, but there's a bunch of lighter backed, thinner stocked cards here, which we'll read about in a second. But I have 34 of those as well. So if you have some 79s, be on the lookout for the lighter version, the lighter back version. Get your scales out. Maybe weigh your cards every now and then, just in case. I'm joking, of course. Let's see here. Let me get into the Beckett OPG portion of this. 530 cards, they tell us, 89 of which are rookie cards, 96 cents average value, total value $509.85, $100 to $250 for a complete set of 528 cards. The 1979 Topps football set contains 528 standard size cards. The card fronts have the player's name, team name, and position at the top, and the position is within a football that is part of a banner-like design. The backs contain yearly statistics. Hold on a second here. The backs contain yearly. I hit read more, and my whole screen went numb. Highlights and a player cartoon. Subsets include league leaders 1 through 6, playoffs 1 through 6 to 168, and record breakers 331 to 336. Team leaders, TLs, depict team leaders in various categories on front and team checklist on back. An uncut sheet of 28 team leader cards, along with 2 checklists, was available via wrapper mail order offer. The set features the first and only major issue cards of Earl Campbell. Other rookie cards include Steve DeBerg, James Lofton, Ozzie Newsome, and Doug Williams. Finally, every card was printed on the standard dark-colored gray cardstock, as well as a thinner cream-colored cardstock that is slightly more difficult to find. So the price variation isn't that difficult, but they are more difficult to find. If you're a master set completer, wow, good luck with this. But again, I have the full set of the graybacks, but the cream colored, I'm way off and actively not pursuing that. Top 3 cards, I bet you it's Earl Campbell. Earl Campbell, of course, Donnie Shell, rookie card is number 2, and then a 3-way tie between Ozzie Newsome, James Lofton, and Walter Payton's base card. Cream coloreds, kind of the same thing in there. Let's see here. It says 50, 25 there for the top 2. Let's look at the cream colored, see if there's a top 3 difference in price. Let's see here. No, not really. It's actually lower prices for the cream colored. So don't go running out and looking for cream colored cards. Put your scales away, folks. Let's get over to TCDB. Get to the overview here. Teams depicted on this set are the Falcons, Colts, Bills, Bears, Bengals, Browns, Cowboys, Broncos, Lions, Packers, Oilers, Chiefs, Rams, Dolphins, Vikings, Patriots, Saints, Giants, Jets, Raiders, Eagles, Steelers, Chargers, 49ers, Seahawks, Cardinals, Buccaneers, and the Redskins. Of course, the Cardinals were in St. Louis back then. The Raiders were in Oakland for the first time. What else we have here? The Chargers were in San Diego. The Oilers were not the Titans. And the Baltimore Colts were in Baltimore, oddly enough, where they belong. Hall of Famers, lots of them, 80 of them recorded here, including team leaders, NFL leaders, and regular base cards, perhaps some playoff cards as well. Inserts and relates. I'm sorry, rookies. 90 rookie cards, a lot of them. Don't want to go over all of them. Too many to mention, as we all know. There is a checklist sheet singles. There we go, right there. And of course, there's the cream colored back. They're calling it a parallel set because it seems to be the only thing collectors can respond to these days. Here are some comments. NJ Devils says, number 117, Bucky Dilson, 313, Haven Moses are shown with plain blue helmets, not the usual striped Broncos helmet. Not sure if they were airbrushed out or actually wore this type of helmet. Of course, NJ Devils, there were no NFL team logos on the football cards in the 1970s by Topps. We all know that. I'm not sure why you're slow on the uptake. Buckeyes 45 says, the pack. I bought great cards, still have some of them. No punctuation, OSU education, no doubt. Super Fred says, Christmas 1979, got 2 gifts, an Atari 2600 and a stocking crammed with 36 packs of 79 Topps football. Never again would I see a better Christmas. Wow. What a great Christmas there, Super Fred. Santa was good to you. Adam Hughes says these were the first sports cards of any kind I ever opened. My mom bought them home from her weekly grocery store run, and I remember being disappointed that they took the place of the usual cheap toys she bought for me. When I had started collecting for real a few years later, though, I was happy to have had a head start. Great story there, Adam Hughes. Davey 9. What I like about this set is that many of the team leaders on the team leader card, such as Tony Dungy, do not have regular cards in this set. If you add these players up, this turns out to be one of the largest sets. Composer Mike says a few hidden RCs of Hall of Famers and a delightful design make this another must-have football set for the 1970s. I agree, Composer Mike. Great set for sure. And I'm proud to have it. Finished it off not too long ago, maybe within the last year. And great set from that era, of course. Packaging, there is the 3x20 wax pack, saran wrapped thing, whatever's going on there, locked in forever by under quarantine by Baseball Card Exchange. They look like sparklers, 4th of July sparklers from the top, truth be told. There's a case of football cards, 918-79. That's probably the 3x20s here. There is a box of cello cards. There's a pack of cello cards and a pack of super cellos, 49-cent super pack football cards, 28 picture cards for your 49 cents. Whereas a cello pack would net you, this makes no sense. 18 cards for 30 cents. There's the 3x20s. There's the rack packs. There's all sorts of stuff going on. The wax packs, football player with yellow and green and red, Rastafarian playing for the Jamaican national football team, apparently. And there is your card locker on offer. And there is your smooth and juicy bubblegum, as well as your 2016 checklist card offer that you could scissor it up and defile it forever. Trivia associate up. Let's look at the sell sheets and ads here. There is a sell sheet, and what's interesting about this, several things interesting about this. First of all, we see NFL logos, in this case, the Steelers, on this helmet of Terry Bradshaw, handing the ball off to a either Franco Harris or Rocky Bleier, I'm sure. It says Topps 79 football. It's hot and heavy. Another action-packed Topps NFL season, sales season. All new 528 card 79 series with the best action scenes ever. Special feature cards, record breakers, league leaders, Super Bowl action cards, team picture cards. Another bullet point says team checklist cards for easy collecting. And a further bullet point will tell you that rising fan enthusiasm to keep sales rolling through Super Bowl Sunday. So put all your deets in there. Send us X amount of boxes of the 30-cent Topps Hoochie McCoochies 369-79. That's a cello pack serial number, if you ask me. Put all your information in there. Send it to the Curve T people up there, and you will get your cards in return. Trivia. 1979 Topps is the only major release that featured cards, 331 and 390, devoted solely to Earl Campbell during his NFL career. So Earl Campbell had a lot of cards in this set. He had the team leaders, the league leader cards, and his base card as well. And I'm not sure if he had a record breaker card. I don't think so. But let's get down to the gallery. Of course, Earl Campbell, big mystery as to why this was his debut and swan song for Topps playing days cards. I'm sure somebody can explain it to me, but I can't understand how somebody would do that. And I applaud him for standing his ground, but reminds me of Maury Wills back in the early 60s, I suppose, right? Let's get back to the sell sheet real quick here, if you guys don't mind. What I found fascinating about this is since we don't use logos in the 70s on Topps football cards, we're using them there. But more importantly, this is a Cowboys versus Steelers game. Both teams, their home games were on on artificial turf, and this is a game being played on natural turf. So this tells me this is the Super Bowl from 1979, I guess, which would have the Steelers victorious as usual in the Super Bowls in the 70s. So anyway, fun little fact there, just a little sell sheet from the Super Bowl using the real live team logos. There's the leader cards. Man, Staubach and Bradshaw, right? Ricky Young and Steve Largent. And there's your rushing leaders from 78. Walter Payton and Earl Campbell. What a pair of beasts that was. Not too bad. Number 2 in the NFC was Tony Dorsett. Number 3 was Wilbert Montgomery. So lots of people running around there. Franco Harris, the third leading rusher in the AFC that year. There's a couple of scoring leaders. They're kickers. No one cares. Interceptions, Willie Buchanan, Ken Stone, and Tom with the H. Darden. Punting leaders, no one cares about that either. But here's the cards. They just look gorgeous. Little banner up there in the upper left. Football with the position in it. Full name, team, and a photo, whether action photo, sideline photos. But they're there, and we're clicking away. Sorry, I'm getting a little emotional here. In 1979, John Riggins, he's Riggo. He is having a heck of a career at that point, and so on and so forth. So here's some other cards zipping through the old hoochie macoochie. There's Joe Green, Mean Joe Green. He's 6'4", 270. He went to North Texas State. Drafted by the Steelers in the first round, 1969. Acquired via draft. Birth date 9/24/46. Duncanville, Texas is where he is from. Card number 65, Joe Green, defensive tackle, one of the greatest defensive players in pro football history. Joe is considered to be a future Hall of Famer. He was very instrumental in turning the Steelers into a dominant force in the NFL and has helped the club to 7 consecutive playoff appearances and 3 Super Bowl triumphs. Joe combines physical assets of speed, quickness, and strength on the gridiron. Furthermore, they tell us Joe is an excellent after-dinner speaker on the banquet circuit. Copyright 1979 Topps Chewing Gum Inc., printed in the USA. Walter White, he is not making methamphetamine in the desert, but he is a tight end for the Chiefs in card number 66. Oh, boy, let's get on with it. There's Drew Pearson and stuff like that. Card number, there's Joe Klecko. He was from Temple and from Chester, PA for some odd reason. Not a lot of people will say that. Craig Colquitt, look at that face mask right there. Single bar, doesn't care if you punch him in the nose as he's kicking the football. There's Nick Mickemeyer kicking the ball on the infield against the Baltimore Colts, probably preseason, but lovely depiction there of something happening in the infield. John Matuszak, he was, I believe he was in Revenge of the Nerds. Billy Joe Dupree is there. Wesley Walker, Jan Stenerud is there. Chiefs Hall of Famer, but they're all there. Everybody, lots of great players in this set. There's Tom Sklanany. He's a punter, and he's an all-pro, and it says that right in his upper left football, where we have an all-pro designation. So lots of pregame warm-ups. There's Joe Washington with his glasses on. And his binky hanging from his helmet. On and on and on and on. Great cards from back in the days. Archie Griffin, look at that mask. He looks like a defensive tackle. He won 2 Heisman trophies. Not a lot of people can say that, but bit of a stiff in the NFL. I guess he was burned out. Might as well have been a University of Wisconsin running back. Worn out, ridden hard, and put away wet in Columbus, Ohio, and paid for it in the NFL, I suppose. So there is your Giants team leaders cards, for example, with the checklist on the back, which would have the card number, alphabetically ordered players, positions, and then their uniform numbers. It's called UNIF number. So they would have your rushing, your receiving, your interceptions, and your quarterback sack leaders on the back of those cards. I guess assuming we knew who the quarterback was, that's why they left them out. Now, that's Raymond Chester. He's a tight end, and he's got a great face mask. Joe De La Melure, he's got a headband on. He has a head wound, but you don't see that much in modern football because they take you out and make you take PTO if you get banged up like that. You don't get a bandage on your head. You just get a few weeks off. There's Herman Edwards. He is an Eagles cornerback, and he, of course, would be the recipient of the football put on the ground by Joe Pisarcik in the Miracle in the Meadowlands. Coy Bacon, one of my favorite names from back in the day. Can't get away with that anymore. And so on and so forth. A lot of these Packers were taken in old Lambeau Field. It looks almost like the Coliseum in L.A., an old, just like benched gladiator arena with no frills attached to it for the people up there in Wisconsin way. Tom Blanchard, look at that hair. His hair is perfect, as Warren Zevon would say. Burt Jones, he did Irish Spring commercials back in the day. So on and so forth. There's John Kolb. He was a tackle Look at those hands, those mittens. All he probably put fishing weights in those gloves, taped them up, and beat the crap out of defensive players trying to rush his beloved quarterback Terry Bradshaw. Vern Holland, Eason Ramson. I'm sorry. Jim Marshall's wearing a white burqa. Mel Blount, he does not need a hat on. He does not need any hair. He's ready to go there at Three Rivers. Three Rivers, of course, the mysterious car parked in the end zone or just off the end zone for many decades there, Three Rivers. You see that in a lot of shots. Joe Pisarcik, we talked about him. There's an all-pro there. Bill Simpson, he's a safety, and so on and so forth. There's the Haven Moses card with the Broncos that's airbrushed all the way across to protect you from copyright infringement. So anyway, that's the 1979 Topps football set. Earl Campbell. Let me just look at Earl Campbell here real quick on TCB, DB, whatever the heck you guys call it. Football. Bam. So Earl Campbell, one of the greatest football players of all time. People my age will remember Earl Campbell running down the field, shedding clothes, shedding tacklers, all that stuff. He just used to abuse people as he ran down the field. 79, he's featured on a Fleer team action card, not named though. 79 Topps, he's got his 4 cards there. Team leaders, league leaders, the record breaker card, and the base card. Of course, cream colored backs and gray backs, but not a lot going on. Earl Campbell's run of Topps cards happens 79. 8 of them total, I guess, if you count the cream colored ones, but just a sad legacy he has of Topps cards. Of course, he has a sportscaster card, which is fun. It's fun to look at. There it is right now. He is a Longhorn with the tearaway jerseys. Look at his jerseys barely holding on right there with holes in it and all that stuff. So enough about me and the love you blue, Earl Campbell, Houston Oilers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, to Basement Tapes number 338. Hope to see everybody very soon. And be safe out there. Kids are back in school, I hear. Thanks. Bye.